Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Nick
I'm down.
And I'm Tony.
from Top Notch Sports. And today we got Survivor episode 5 of the Fire and Flint podcast. I still love that name. I love that name.
I completely forgot about that name.
Wow.
So
Fire and Flint. Fire and Flint. All right. Let's get this thing rolling here. Okay. Hube's not with us again, but let's just introduce ourselves again. Dom, the Survivor rookie, raise your hand. Tony, the Survivor veteran, raise your hand.
Wait, can I actually raise my hand?
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go. There's a clap. There he is down there. There he is. And last but not least, we don't have the Survivor guru, Noah, here today, but we have
How do
me
you do that?
narrating us through again. All right, enough said with that. Everyone's here. Here we go. You guys are all flying around the screen like crazy. Calm it down. Here we go. Let's see what we got. This episode, fellas, Dom, real fast, Dom, you weren't here last episode. What do you think about the last episode?
It was a really good episode, very entertaining. Yeah, it was very good.
Lovely. Very good.
Very
Episode
lovely.
4. The episode where Sarah got voted out. Carolyn
Yes.
does the shocking move with Josh. Josh uses the idol. I think it was a phenomenal play by Carolyn. And now again, episode 5 now. Hey, Tony, you called it. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you called what was going to happen in the last episode. So real fast, before we hop into episode 5, let's hit our intro. All right, here we are. We are back from our intro. All right, Tika, let's start with the opening scenes in here. Tika starts off, and Survivor starts filming Tika, and Jam Jam is upset, and he looks like, I believe Josh says like a lost puppy or something. You just see that he's frowning, he's upset, he doesn't really know what's going on because he was left out of the vote. Remember, Carolyn decided to choose Josh over Jam Jam, and they decided to let out Sarah. So now, Jam Jam's all upset. He's very concerned. Does he have the votes if they go back to tribal council? And that's the main concern. Carolyn does not know who to work with now. Josh just showed her loyalty, but she's been with Jam Jam since day one. So again, now she's wondering what she should do. And last but not least, Josh that night shows Jam Jam that he has an idol. Now it's a fake idol. Remember, he shows the slip, the old message saying that, you have an idol to Jam Jam. And, long story short, he said that he's going to use it at the next tribal council. Okay, so far, what are you guys thinking, Dom? I'll start with you with all that happening in Tika. What are you thinking going into it right then and there?
Well, honestly, it was a little confusing at first because I've never seen. Has this merge ever happened before where somebody else from a different team moves into a new tribe? But like
Usually,
one person.
Yeah, not one. This is very weird that it's just one person switching tribes.
Like it kind of caught me off guard, and then just seeing that Jam Jam had to build a relationship, or Josh had to build a new relationship, and Carolyn not really liking Josh from the start. It kind of was just like it threw me off a little bit. Because now you gotta you have your favorite tribes, your favorite people. And then you kind of build a new, do I like this? Do I like that? Do I like this new group? Do I like this person here instead of there? And seeing Jam Jam and Josh trying to kind of build up a bond because Jam Jam tried to, I don't know I can't remember if he tried to vote out Josh or just
Yes, he
keep
did.
him out of it. Yeah, he did, right? He's trying to build up this bond or this chemistry back up with, or just actually from the bottom up with Josh, and you see Jam Jam really struggle with it, and he's kind of worried. And I haven't seen Jam Jam like this before, so it kind of threw me off.
Yeah, he said that, Josh was having, a bitch face, as I believe what he called it. So he was very upset that Josh wasn't buying into it because Jam Jam's, Jam Jam's here to play. Everyone knows that. He said in the first episode, he's here to play. He's here to have a good time. And, finally something doesn't go Jam Jam's way. And now Jam Jam's upset, but he's trying to work now. He's trying to work some magic. And Josh just wasn't buying it. Tony, what were your thoughts on the opening scenes?
Yeah, no, uh, Dom's right. Like Jam just like, and Josh said it like they both said that like he looked like a lost puppy or someone killed his dog or whatever. And he seemed very worried for some reason for Josh, even though Josh just came on. Well, he not that he was worried for Josh, but like he seemed like he was like wondering why, like obviously why tribal council went the way it went with them voting off Sarah, and they all said that they were going to vote off Josh, but Jamium doesn't know that Josh was told that. But and then Josh did look he looked pissed in a way. I don't know why he was pissed that they voted off the person he wanted voted off, but obviously he knows that he's got a big target on his back. And then Carolyn's just where was she during that scene? Well, she was just off and about, right?
I think, well, yeah, the pet, which in the opening, yeah.
Yeah, opening scene, yeah.
Also, when he is making his idol, Carolyn's sleeping. And
Yeah,
he shows Jam Jam this idol that he has. And we'll get into that. Well, he doesn't show him, he shows him the paper to the idol. All right, so we'll get into that in a little bit later. Now let's talk. And Dom, I really fast I want to go back to what you just said there too, with like the tribes. You start seeing some swaps. I didn't know if I like Tika anymore. I don't know if I like Ratu now, Soka. Like, which one's my favorite tribe? Going after the tribe swap, it's like, damn, I like the Carson, Carolyn, Jam Jam connection. I did. That was my favorite part of it. Now you got Josh with them. You got Carson and Ratu. I like Ratu too. I remember the first day we were saying we like Brandon, we like Matt, and now and Kane, for the love of God. And now you add Carson. They're starting to become my favorite tribe. But you still gotta like Carolyn and Jam Jam. I mean, come on. You can't change that easy. All right. So that's that. Now we go to Ratu, Orange. Matt is in a lot of pain because of his shoulder. Remember, he suffered that fall on day 2, dislocated. Could have tore something. I don't know what he was doing, but the man was there to have an adventure, and I loved every second of everything that he was doing. But now Carson, who just changed tribes, he's doing great. I mean, out of all the people that changed, he has to be
He adapted the best.
right? Because he's working with Matt, right? Matt says that, he feels emotionally comfortable talking with him. Kane and him are talking about nerdy, geeky stuff. They're talking about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Jedis, Pokemon, etc., etc. They're finding chemistry. Carson just like, keep giving me information. I'm learning about everything, and I'm just gonna, keep going along. So that's that. And not only that, like I said, by them giving him information is key in this game, and it's gonna help him get along. So real fast, Dom, I'll go to you then, Tony. What do you think about Carson's situation and Ratu right there?
Well, like you said, he's in the best, at least out of the people who switched, out of the 3, he's in the best situation. He's very, very smart and strategic with the way he talks to certain people. He can read them, obviously, very quickly because he acts different depending on how or what type of person you are. He's very, very smart with that. And he builds up relationships with, or a relationship with Matthew and Kane, such like you said. But I don't think we saw anything with him and Brandon, did we? At least not yet.
Nope.
Not yet. But I think he's in the best boat he can be. He's like, he knows what he needs to do. He's doing it, and he's doing it good. You can't really say anything else about that other than he's doing what he needs to do.
Absolutely. Tony, what do you think?
Nick, you made a good point. Like the Survivor, the entire thing is the more you know, the better situation you're in. And Carson, like you said, like he's getting all this information. He knows a lot about Tika, right? No, it was Tika was he on Tika before that?
Yeah.
He knows about Tika, their situation. He knows everyone there, how they play, how they act. So he's got a head start with there, even though there's only 3 members on that tribe. Much, but he knows something about another tribe. Now he's on Ratu, so now he's just trying to, figure out how everyone is on there. So he's right. Just he's being smart with it. Figure out more about each person and how they are, how they act. And who's with who, and sooner or later you might find them in the final three later down the road. Who knows?
Absolutely. And again, I do want to point out that I did post 2 TikToks. It was one of Jam Jam, one of Carson when we originally did the first video. The Carson one's blowing up. I think it's around blowing up 2,000 views, but we got like 30 something likes. I mean, that's our best TikTok video we've ever made. So that's that. So, all right, that's that. Now let's go into the next part, Soka. Okay, Jamie is fitting in pretty well. She's doing yoga. She's no longer leading the yoga things. Now she is currently, just performing part of yoga. Not only that, Tony, as we mentioned before, the Matt and Franny situation. Remember when we said that they didn't really do much last episode? Well,
Yeah,
they're
no.
right back at it now. They're talking about like
Yeah.
a marriage after the show's over. Dom, you're
Yeah,
sideways.
yeah.
There we go. You're better now. Real fast. So, Dom, you weren't here last episode. On episode 4, Matt and Franny, the relationship wasn't really there shown. This episode, it looks like they're about to have a marriage again. What do you think about those two? And I mean, right now, here's one thing I can say. Jamie doesn't really know much about it because remember, Jamie says to Franny, Matt, is a little like kind of like strange. He's not working with me. And Franny is like, she's not catching on that we're a duo yet, which is a good thing because that's going to help them, go further. So, Dom, real fast, what do you think about that? I mean, is it going to be an issue like we've been saying it might be, or do you think they're actually going to make this work?
Well, they've been making it work. They proved me wrong on plenty of occasions because I've been thinking this wasn't going to work since day 1. We're now on day 10, and it's been working the best it can, or close to it. Like, it doesn't seem like any of the tribe members have a problem, and who did have a problem with it is gone. I think it was Claire, who originally didn't like it. She's not there anymore. So any tribe member who had a problem with it is not there anymore. And right now, it doesn't seem like any current tribe member has a real problem with it. They like it, and there's like, it's just very impressive, to be honest with you, that they can keep a relationship that quite open and that allowed. And it's impressive all around.
I hear you. All right, Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's kind of interesting to see because like every survivor, we always get those two that are just, tied together like they're lovers, like since they got there. I don't get how that always happens every season. There's always, like I said, there's every season there's always that. So it's just, of course, has to be those two. And it's just funny how like even Franny saying like, oh, maybe after the show, after the season, maybe like we'll go eat Ethiopian food together. Like what? Ethiopian? Where does that come from?
They had a lot of time together on an island. I'll tell you that much.
Very much so.
So, all right, that's Soka. So now we talked about all 3 tribes. Now they bring us back to Tika, I believe. And, like we said, Josh makes a fake idol overnight, and the whole thing is with this is he makes the idol, and long story short, Josh and Jam Jam start to bond together, and they start sharing stories with one another, and they start building a bond. So again, Josh now officially, remember, he told them he has an idol. He told them, he showed Jam Jam the paper,
Yep.
but now he actually makes the idol. And him and Jam Jam start bonding with one another, and they start sharing stories with one another to get closer. But now we're brought to the challenge, all right, the big challenge. And Tony, as you and I both said it, Dom, you weren't here last week, but Tiga's a big underdog. They've been a big underdog since Bruce left, for the love of God. All right, so Tiga's the underdogs, but they start strong. Did you notice
Yeah.
they're all tied together hip to hip? They gotta go through this thing of woods and like these, these like up and down and squeeze between these sticks and stuff. And Jam Jam and Carolyn are doing a hell of a job with Josh. They're getting through. They get out of it first. Jam Jam's leading the way, getting up
Yeah.
the stick, underneath the stick, left, right. You got Danny and all them trying to get through. Matt, and Matt was trying to get through with him. And then you had the other tribe. I think it was Carson and Brandon, basically. So, all right. Yada, yada. Now, we go to the next part. Tiga gets through the first part first, but they ultimately did not get the job done. Because they get to the part now, you got, Josh and Jam Jam working this table. You got to get 3 bulls into the holes. Okay?
It's an obstacle course, and if it falls off, they restart.
Yeah, so they get 3 bulls. So you had Jam Jam and Josh trying to push it through. Falls off. Carson and Brandon. Boom, one in the hole. Soka, Danny, and Matt. Yeah, Matt.
Danny,
Matt.
yeah, Danny
Geeky
and Matt,
Matt.
yeah.
Boom, they get one in. Tika, they had 10 tries. Doesn't even get one. Jam and them just sliding it too much every once in a while. Boom, another one. Carson and Brandon, another one in. You know, now, oh, Tika gets one in. Soka gets one in, 2-1. Ratu wins. You know, Brandon Carson win. They win immunity. Not only do they win immunity, they get to choose who they send off on another advantage journey. A journey, I should say. Team 2, Soka gets it. Tika again loses. Are you kidding me? They try with 3 people. I don't want to see anybody really go. Josh is rolling on me now, too. He played the idol well last episode. Okay. Now, Ratu gets to decide who to send on this journey. Tony, I'll let you say who they send.
They ended up sending Brandon, Danny, and Carolyn.
Okay, Don, what do you think about those choices right off the bat?
Interesting. I mean, you got 2 pretty much leaders, and then you got Caroline. No disrespect, but it's Caroline compared to Danny and Brandon, who are seen as the leaders and they're powerhouses. It's, just kind of like out of I'm trying to think of the word. It's kind of in a different chapter. Brandon, Danny are in this, like, they're in the same book, while Caroline is just in a different, different
Carolyn's in no,
library.
she has her own book, for the love of God.
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. She's in a whole different library. All
But
right.
I'll tell you something. If we're sitting here and saying that she hasn't played the game the best so far, then we're absolutely besides ourselves. So they send them to the challenge. Brandon, Danny, Carolyn, they all go to this beach. You know, they're walking on the beach. They get to talk to each other. And now the award or the reward is that they get to just eat, relax, hang out, and talk with one another and share information. Now, again, if you're on the tribe, you're probably thinking that they got an idol, they got something, but in reality, they don't. They just get to sit and talk and eat.
Yeah.
So right away, Danny and Brandon start having a fine conversation, and Carolyn's just right in the middle of them. And Brandon and Danny are like, "Yeah, we are, yeah, that's what she looks like." But they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna be great." She's like, "Who's we? Who's us? You know who?" And she's just sitting there. You just see that she's like, oh, I'm glad you two are getting along well. She spits out an orange. She just livid. She's livid. She's so, she's just so displeased that they're not including her in the conversation. And she feels left out. All she wants to do is build a relationship. And these people aren't even included. And it was obnoxious. They were not including her at all. And then Danny and Brandon say,
Yeah, I felt
yeah,
bad.
the 2 of us that are physical specimen plus Josh can make a really good trio. And Carolyn's like, oh, I'm glad that I'm part of this. And now she starts to turn on Josh. Josh, if he makes the merge, he's going to pair it with them over me. I can't let that happen. So now her brain flips. I need to go back to Jam. I can't let this happen. Okay, plain and simple. Brandon and Danny mention working with Josh, and this ultimately makes, a target on Josh's back. And now Carolyn's going to flip the switch. Do you guys think this was smart for Danny and Brandon to not include her and kind of tell, like, they're literally telling them they'll play, oh, yeah, we're physical. We're going to work together. We're going to work with Josh. You think it was smart, Dom? And then I'll go to Tony.
Well, they said it themselves. They don't think she is a real survivor, not a threat, as Brandon said. So was it smart for them to say their plan out loud, even though it's not much of a plan? No, it was not smart at all. And is it probably going to backfire at least on one of their potential partners? Yes, because of that, it causes Caroline, who doesn't already like Josh, not like him more. So Josh said it himself. He put a target on his back, putting more stress and tension between the purple tribe. No, I don't think that was smart at all.
Tony?
I don't know. Was it smart? Was it not smart? I think yes and no. Yes, because obviously they think Carolyn is gonna get voted off either way, and they don't got to worry about her. So they're just gonna tell her. They're gonna just say their plan in a way like, "Oh, we don't care if you know because oh, you're gone. You're not gonna be here when this plan comes true. But in a way, maybe they did that and said Josh because maybe they don't want Josh. Who knows? I don't know. Like
I
that's
know,
always
I agree with that. I mean,
that
to
that
me,
yeah
if they really want Josh, wasn't that dumb?
yeah
I mean, why would they say, "Oh, we want," because now that's going to put a target on Josh's back.
exactly yeah
So that was just stupid. I mean, it was just
oh
stupid.
yeah
I do agree, though. I mean, here's where I agree with you. It could be smart because, all right, maybe all three of them won't be together, but at least maybe they can form a really big bond between the two of them and be
yeah
really tight going into it. And that's all you need is at least one other person. And Carolyn, she doesn't need to be involved with that. But I'll tell you something right now. Carolyn might be the most dangerous player in the game. She has an idol. Honestly, she's made a fake idol. Well, she did the X thing, which worked.
mhm,
I mean, nobody used it, but it worked. I mean, she made one for the love of God. And
yeah
ultimately, I mean, again, like they're really underestimating her. She's terrible at challenges. We will like she has been. I'm not saying she's gonna be. Who knows? But she has been pretty terrible. But man, has her social game and voting game been spot on. And Carolyn, if you're watching this, which I know that you're not, you've been phenomenal. I know it's over, but keep it up. And I hope you're on again.
Phenomenal.
Because honestly, it hasn't been. I don't remember Survivor being this good in years. You're one of the greatest players to ever play the game, in my opinion. Whether or not you get voted out next time, this time, or so be it. If you win the whole damn thing, you need to be a bad girl on the show. All right. So again, and during the challenge, I want to mention this. I told you in the beginning, Matt was having shoulder issues. The doctors the medical checked him out during the challenge, and they said, it's your call, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, he decided not to go home yet. So now they go back to Tika's tribe. And now the games start getting played. Carolyn now knows that she needs to get Jam Jam on her side. And she's grabbing his face. Jam Jam, I'm not lying to you. Please work with me. Jam Jam's like, I don't know what to do. Like he doesn't know. He doesn't know what to do. Tony, what do you
yeah
think
no
if you're in this situation?
he said he didn't know what to do, but when they pull him to the side and they have the camera just on them, he said it. He was like, I think she's back. She's back to the old Carolyn I know. I was like,
Absolutely.
what the hell is going on?
I'm like, please, old Tika, get back together. So then they're all sitting around the campfire, and Josh pulls out his idol.
The campfire song.
He pulls out his idol, and
Yeah.
Jam is like, let me see it.
Yeah,
Have the idol.
Instantly, he knew.
And he's like, this? He's like, isn't this from the tree mail? These beads in the. And Carolyn's like, yeah, it looks like. He's like, Josh is like, no, it's not from tree mail. He's like, Jam starts plucking at it. The thing falls apart. Josh gets so pissed off.
yeah.
And then he's like, well,
He's like,
here's the note.
give me your bag.
He hands a note to Carolyn. Carolyn's like, this guy,
It's the same note.
I've read this last time. This was for your first idol. So he just completely blew his cover. Remember, Jam didn't see the first note. So when he showed it to Jam would have had no idea, but Carolyn already read it. Carolyn is a genius. I want to keep saying it. So now you got to think Jam can't really trust Josh now. He's lying about this idol.
Yeah.
Tribal council, gonna be moments away. What's gonna happen? You see somebody coming over in a boat. Oh, it's Jeff. What the hell is gonna happen now? Jeff sits down, gets on a knee. I'm like, son of a.
I want to know what Don thought you were making.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Don't tell me it's gonna happen. Matt has left the game. Matt has left the game. He chose to leave because he was in excruciating pain. Question I gotta ask you guys is, what would have happened if it wasn't? What do you think would have happened?
I think Josh was gone.
You think? I think so.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, Josh was gone.
Carolyn knew, and then Yam obviously knew at the same time. We all know Josh is gone.
Does Carolyn play the idol, or does she hold on to it again?
Nope, they were.
She
I
holds
think
it.
her and Yam would have just been like, Josh, you're done. Right there in his face.
Yep.
You know, like
Josh may have thought it was a joke. Nope.
Yeah, Carolyn literally.
No.
Tell him what Carolyn literally said.
Oh, I thought Tony already mentioned it. Carolyn said, "Yeah, I'm trying to get you out."
Yeah, when after
was-
Jeff said that they're all safe because what's his face left, she literally said to his face that she was
Yeah.
gonna vote him out. Here's the
Yeah.
thing though, too. Like in reality now, you think about it. What was what would have happened? Again, I don't know. I mean, I hope that's what would I would like to see Tika go strong. Now the question is, what is going to happen going forward? Now I believe, and I'll tell you real fast before I even say that, I believe we may have just made the merge, fellas. I think the merge is next episode. I think it's the next episode. I think on the trailer. So they're all gonna
Oh,
formulate
yeah.
a one tribe. One. Here's my question. Do we see the old Tika tribe get does Carson now join with Carolyn and I mean, are they tight now? Or no? What's gonna happen when they all get back together? Is Carson gonna go back to old Tika? With Kane, maybe? Or are they all going to be their separate ways? I mean, what's going to happen? So, Don, we'll start with you, and then Tony will go to you. If the merge is next episode, what's your take? What is going to happen with everybody? Because, again, the only people, all right, Jamie's going to go back and be with partially Rateau, right? But the one person she was close with who? Matt, and he's no longer there. So, Jamie doesn't really have many allies. Carson, who left, Carson has a ton of allies. Jam and Carolyn both like him. And now he got friends with Kane and Matt, but Matt's no longer there. So now maybe those three or four can get together. And last but not least, the only other person that left was Josh. Josh really was no close allies with nobody, but maybe he'll find a way with Brandon and Danny. So real fast going into it, Dom, what do you think is going to happen, and what team, little tiny branch of teams, is going to end up being the best? I mean, the most strong.
I think Green Tribe, all of them are sticking together. They seem like they genuinely do have a bond that you can't really break, and they don't
Yeah, they're
want to right now.
meditating
At least it
together.
looks like it. Yes, they were that, and they even have the little chant, the victory chant. What is Saku? What's the
Soka.
name of their tribe? Soka, Soka, Soka. That's literally what they said. And if anything, Brandon, he doesn't have anybody. He had one person. It was Matt. Now he has Danny, so he might transfer over and stay in that group with Danny, Franny, Matt, right?
Yeah.
Green Matt, and
Yeah.
all that.
Green man.
And I think Yam Yam, it's tough with Jam, Carolyn,
Josh or
and
Carson? Which one?
Josh and all them. Why am I drawing a blank? Carson.
Carson.
There we go. Jam, Josh, Carolyn, and Carson. It's kind of tough with them because, like you said, Carson is now making a friend with Kane, seemingly to have the best alliance with Kane out of everybody he's made an alliance with. So he might stay with Kane. Kane, I don't know. It's a lot can happen. There's multiple outcomes. Is pretty much my point. But overall, I think Green stays together, and I think Purple and Ratu kind of just goes their own way.
Because I'm thinking, how many are on green right now? 5?
Yeah, I think so.
And how many are on orange now? We got
Or
time out.
Brandon,
I'm thinking Brandon,
Jamie.
Kane, Lauren, Carson.
that's it.
That's it.
Jamie's
No.
with Green.
Yeah, not Jamie.
So 4, because they lost Matt. And they lost who was the other one they lost? Matt, and they voted somebody Maddie
In the
Matt,
very beginning.
first one.
Maddie, yeah.
So they have 4. Tika has 3. And the other tribe has what, 5?
5, I think so.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, let's put it this way. But let's say Brandon flops to green. 5, right? Because then it would be 5 if they pull Brandon. And what did we just say? They have 4, so now it's gonna be 3, 3, 6. If everyone from Tika right now currently and everyone from Orange sticks together, that's the only way they take out the new Soka, with Brandon included, when they make the merge. Because, like you said, Dom, if all Ahsoka stays together, they can pick one person off at a time the entire way through. And then they'll start picking each other off. But again, I mean, I don't know. Tony, what are your thoughts here? I mean, what do you think? I mean, if you're Carson right now, like, I think if you're Carson and Kane, don't you have to jump back aboard with Tika?
Yeah, in a way.
Because that's the only way you're going to take out Soka.
I think, but there's that, and then obviously we mentioned Brandon and Danny joining their alliance, And then we'll see if they're true about Josh then too, if that's the case. Other thing is, Carolyn knows. She knows about that. So she might leak that to the rest of them then, that Brandon and Danny are trying to make an alliance together once everything comes together. They want to form that alliance so they can, stick together through thick and thin and try to get to the end. So since they leaked that to her, thinking she was probably going to get voted off at the tribal council that night, she, like I said, she might end up leaking it then to everyone that, hey, those two, like, we got to go after them.
Yeah.
They're a big threat in a way.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I can't wait for the merge. It's the greatest time of the year.
No,
Anything and
Christmas is.
everything can happen. And now it becomes an individual game, no longer a team game. Poor Tiga's not going to get destroyed anymore every single week.
Yeah, I
No.
feel bad for them.
I feel horrible.
It's been 5 weeks. 5, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, 5. I think there was only one week that they were not on tribal council.
Yeah. It all started when Bruce hit his head.
Yeah.
Bruce, we need you, Bruce. Listen,
I feel bad for that guy.
me too. Bashed his head, man. That must.
At least he's gonna be back on it.
I wonder how much he got for bashing his head.
I don't know. All right, listen. Let's wrap this thing up. Long story short is this. It was a good episode. Not my favorite, but there's a lot to go on. And I think next week, let's pray we have the full crew on for once this entire season. Know what? Where are you? Know what?
Yeah.
We got Don back, thankfully, so we'll see. But next week should be great. Let us know your comments in the comment section below. We would love to hear your thoughts and opinion. And hey, if you, I'm talking to you, want to be on the show with us, let us know. We'll have you on Zoom with us, and we can do this together. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are
Built better.
Built better.